Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're delving into the wisdom within Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. Slow productivity offers a transformative philosophy for achieving meaningful accomplishment while avoiding overload. It critiques the broken definition of productivity that leads to overwhelming task lists and burnout, proposing a more sustainable alternative inspired by history's creative thinkers. Drawing on examples from Galileo to Jane Austen, it presents the principles of slow productivity, offering practical advice for escaping overload and pursuing long-term quality in work. Before we begin, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications if you want to keep receiving the knowledge of book summaries about health, wealth, love, psychology, and much more. Don't be shy about dropping your book suggestions for us to summarize. Also, you can use this video as an audiobook summary. Let's grow and succeed together. What's in it for me? A new lens on productivity. Slow productivity. It sounds like an oxymoron. Actually, this radical reframing of how we approach work and output might just pull you back from the brink of burnout. In this summary, you'll discover the transformative power of slow productivity and explore its principles, characterized by focused attention, deliberate pace, and an obsession with quality. It's time to challenge the prevailing fast-paced culture and embark on a journey towards producing meaningful work that stands the test of time. Productivity is problematic. In the relentless pursuit of productivity, our modern culture has fallen into a trap that breeds burnout among knowledge workers and stifles genuine innovation. But what if the problem isn't productivity itself, but rather our flawed understanding and application of it? Enter the concept of slow productivity, an antidote to the frenzied pace of our current work culture. It's about doing fewer things, working at a slower pace, and prioritizing quality over quantity. In essence, it's a call to rethink our entire approach to work. To understand how we ended up in this productivity quagmire, we must first confront the damaging beliefs that brought us here. We've been conditioned to believe that good work requires increasing busyness, that more emails, more tasks, and more meetings somehow equate to better results. This flawed mindset has led us to value visibility over true productivity, giving rise to what can only be described as pseudo-productivity. But what exactly is work in the knowledge sector? Unlike traditional industries with tangible outputs, knowledge work defies easy measurement. Managers struggle to monitor and manage employees, while employees themselves grapple with how to define their contributions. In the absence of clear metrics, we've defaulted to valuing visible activity over actual output. This has only been exacerbated by the proliferation of communication technologies like Zoom and Slack, blurring the boundaries between work and personal life. As a result, American knowledge workers find themselves among the most stressed globally, caught in a vicious cycle of busyness that leaves little room for genuine productivity. A recent McKinsey survey found a significant increase in the number of knowledge workers reporting feeling burnt out, nearly all of the time. They're overwhelmed by the demands of pseudo-productivity, unable to prioritize tasks amidst the constant onslaught of emails and meetings. But it doesn't have to be this way. Slow productivity offers a path forward, a path that values intentionality over speed, depth over breadth. It's about reclaiming our time and energy, focusing on what truly matters rather than getting caught up in the relentless pursuit of productivity for its own sake. So, as we stand at this crossroads, let's reimagine a different future, one where work is not just about getting things done, but about doing them well. Let's redefine success in the knowledge economy, moving away from the tyranny of busyness towards a more meaningful and sustainable approach to work. After all, true productivity isn't about how much we do, but about how well we do it. Slowness offers appealing, time-tested alternatives to burnout culture. In 1986, McDonald's set its sights on Rome, announcing plans for a massive restaurant at the foot of the Spanish Steps capable of seating 450 people. This move stirred apprehension among Italians who feared their cherished way of life was being overshadowed by Americanization. In response, Italian activist and journalist Carlo Petrini launched what would become known as the Slow Food campaign. Petrini's message was clear: faster isn't always better, especially not when it comes to food. Slow food celebrates deliberateness over speed, the thoughtful selection of premium ingredients, the meticulous preparation to enhance flavors and aromas, and the unhurried enjoyment of meals shared at the table. This movement offers valuable insights into reforming entrenched ideas and systems. Firstly, it underscores the importance of presenting an attractive alternative. While critics of McDonald's bemoaned its low-quality fare, environmental impact, and cultural erosion, Petrini took a different approach. Instead of railing against fast food, he championed the pleasures of a slower, more authentic culinary experience. Secondly, rather than concocting new notions about food consumption, he tapped into the inherent wisdom of traditional culinary practices. In essence, focus on offering alternatives and draw from time-tested solutions. Following slow food's footsteps, other movements have emerged to address different facets of our culture endangered by the relentless pursuit of speed and productivity. The Slow Cities initiative aims to create walkable, pedestrian-friendly urban spaces, while the slow medicine movement advocates for holistic healthcare that goes beyond simply treating ailments as they arise. These endeavors share a common goal: providing sustainable alternatives to the cult of busyness. It's time for productivity itself to undergo a slow makeover, beginning with a re-evaluation of what productivity truly means. The pandemic has served as a pivotal moment in this reassessment. Many companies that transitioned to remote work during the pandemic now face resistance as they attempt to mandate a return to the office. The reluctance stems not solely from a desire to avoid commutes or work in pajamas but from a newfound freedom from the constraints of pseudo-productivity. Employees have discovered the flexibility to work on their own terms, aligning with their schedules, honoring other commitments, and pursuing meaningful endeavors beyond the confines of the traditional workday. Workers are increasingly recognizing the hollow demands of pseudo-productivity. Now, the challenge is to present an appealing alternative rooted in tradition. While the image of the cubicle-bound knowledge worker may be relatively recent, the concept of cognitive labor has ancient roots, encompassing scholars, philosophers, musicians, artists, scientists, and storytellers throughout history. It's time to reclaim the essence of meaningful work and redefine productivity in a way that honors both tradition and innovation. The next few sections will take inspiration from traditional knowledge workers and, from their process and practice, extract the core principles for a contemporary slow productivity movement. To do more, start by doing less. The cornerstone of slow productivity lies in the art of doing fewer things, yet doing them better. Consider the case of Jane Austen, often hailed for her prolific output of beloved novels like Pride and Prejudice and Emma within a mere 5 years, before her untimely passing in her early 40s. At first glance, she might not seem the epitome of slow productivity. However, a closer examination of her work habits unveils a methodical, quality-driven approach that laid the groundwork for her remarkable literary legacy. As a young aspiring writer, Jane fervently pursued her craft, stealing moments from her daily routine to write and share her stories with her family. Yet, in adulthood, life's complexities, such as frequent relocations and family illnesses, left her unable to dedicate herself fully to her writing endeavors. She found herself jotting down ideas in scattered bursts but struggled to bring her projects to fruition amidst the chaos of her surroundings. It wasn't until her family settled in the tranquil village of Chawton, following her father's passing, that Jane found the peace and solitude she needed to focus on her writing. Freed from distractions, she channeled years of observations and musings into the literary masterpieces that would shape English literature for generations. What Jane's story teaches us is invaluable, particularly in today's fast-paced work culture, where saying yes to everything is often seen as a badge of honor. However, if we aspire to create meaningful work, we must learn to say no more often, to strip away the superfluous and prioritize what truly matters. The ideal scenario? A workload so streamlined that it allows ample time for deep, focused work. By lightening our load, we gain the freedom to immerse ourselves fully in projects that have the potential to be transformative, rather than merely succumbing to tasks that serve to fill the void of busyness. Now, while relocating to a cottage in the English countryside may not be a feasible option for most, we can still channel Jane Austen's spirit within the constraints of our modern lives. It begins by recognizing that not all obligations are created equal. Some are genuine commitments, while others are mere distractions. Take, for example, Virtual meetings, a staple in the lives of many knowledge workers. While these meetings serve a purpose, they often come with a hefty administrative overhead that eats into valuable working hours, leaving little time for actual core tasks. This overhead has only ballooned with the advent of new technologies and meeting systems, exacerbated by the pandemic. Consider this scenario: juggling 4 core tasks, each accompanied by an hour of administrative overhead daily. Suddenly, half of your working day is consumed by non-essential tasks, leaving you with precious few hours to divide your attention among multiple projects. Conversely, dedicating yourself to one core task affords you nearly an entire day, ample time for deep, focused work essential for creative or complex endeavors. Slow productivity doesn't equate to reduced productivity. Rather, it allows for a higher standard of output by giving each task the attention it deserves. However, it's not enough to simply declare intentions to narrow your focus. Specificity is key, limiting your missions, projects, and daily goals to those aligned with your overarching objectives. Limiting missions, or overarching objectives, to a manageable number ensures you can devote your best work to each. Similarly, paring down projects to those essential for advancing your missions prevents unnecessary diversions. Finally, focusing on one daily goal per project avoids spreading yourself too thin and allows for meaningful progress toward your larger goals. In essence, slow productivity isn't about doing less. It's about doing less of what doesn't matter, so we can do more of what does. By embracing this philosophy and adopting a deliberate, quality-focused approach to our work, we can reclaim our time, enhance our output, and ultimately lead more fulfilling professional lives. Breakthroughs take time. The pace of the modern workplace would likely baffle the great minds of history. Think Copernicus, Newton, and Curie. Today's knowledge workers are caught in a relentless cycle of busyness, with managers and clients constantly checking in on their progress. Taking time off is a rarity, and leisure pursuits often take a backseat to work commitments. Yet, consider the timelines of these renowned scientists. Copernicus, for instance, spent nearly 15 years refining his ideas on planetary motion before sharing them with the world. And far from being consumed solely by his scientific pursuits, he found time for leisure activities like attending the theater and playing the lute. Isaac Newton's groundbreaking work on gravity spanned over 2 decades before it was published, showcasing the value of patience and perseverance in the pursuit of knowledge. Similarly, Marie Curie didn't hesitate to step away from her laboratory and retreat to the French countryside to rejuvenate her mind before delving back into her research on radioactive elements. These luminaries understood a fundamental truth that eludes many in today's fast-paced work culture: progress is not linear, and breaks are essential for innovation and creativity to flourish. Yet, in our zeal for constant productivity, we often overlook the importance of pacing ourselves. So, how can we slow our pace to enhance productivity? Firstly, rethink your concept of time. Instead of focusing solely on what can be achieved in a day or a quarter, consider the possibilities of a longer time frame. Craft a 5-year plan that allows for sustained growth and development, rather than rushing from one task to the next. Additionally, when setting project deadlines, double your initial estimates. This not only provides the breathing room needed to work at a deliberate pace but also guards against the stress of looming deadlines caused by underestimated timelines. Embrace the concept of seasonality in your work. Rather than maintaining a constant, unsustainable pace year-round, allow for fluctuations in intensity. Designate slow seasons where you prioritize work-life balance, finishing your day promptly at 5 p.m. and resisting the urge to take on extra tasks. These fallow periods can rejuvenate your energy reserves, paving the way for bursts of productivity during busier times. Whether you follow the traditional calendar seasons or create your own slow seasons tailored to your needs, the key is to recognize the value of rest and renewal in sustaining long-term productivity. Consider implementing rituals like making Mondays a no-meeting day or scheduling quarterly personal days for leisurely activities. By incorporating these intentional pauses into your routine, you can strike a balance between productivity and well-being, ultimately fostering a healthier and more sustainable approach to work. Obsess over quality. Apple stands as a titan in the tech industry, but its trajectory wasn't always destined for success. In the tumultuous 90s, co-founder Steve Jobs' departure in 1985 cast a shadow over the company's future. However, when he returned as interim CEO in the late 90s, Apple was floundering, weighed down by a bloated product line and plummeting sales. Jobs wasted no time in implementing a radical overhaul. He streamlined the product range to just 4 offerings, emphasizing quality over quantity. This strategic shift paid off handsomely, propelling Apple from massive losses to a $300 million profit within a year. Slow productivity, characterized by a focused approach and deliberate pace, provides the perfect environment for embracing the third core principle, an obsession with quality. As exemplified by Apple's turnaround, prioritizing quality can lead to increased profitability, creating a virtuous cycle that reinforces the importance of slow productivity. Achieving world-class quality requires cultivating a discerning eye, a process that unfolds gradually over time. Early in your career, the gap between your taste and the quality of your work may seem daunting. Yet, as radio host Ira Glass emphasizes, it's through sheer volume of work that you bridge this gap. Immerse yourself in your chosen field, study its nuances, and seek inspiration from diverse sources. Engage with like-minded individuals through writers' circles or film critique groups to refine your taste collaboratively. Invest in high-quality tools and materials, recognizing their role in nurturing both pleasure and confidence in your creative pursuits. While betting on yourself is crucial for producing top-notch work, it's essential to do so sustainably. Many success stories begin with individuals maximizing their spare time, channeling every ounce of energy into passion projects. However, this approach, though effective in the short term, risks eventual burnout. Instead, consider more sustainable strategies, such as taking a salary cut or reducing hours to carve out dedicated time for creative endeavors. By valuing leisure time and setting concrete goals, you signal a commitment to your passion project's success. Moreover, sharing your work with the world can provide added motivation to see it through to completion. Whether it's scheduling a public viewing or announcing a show, committing to showcasing your work holds you accountable and fosters a sense of urgency in your creative process. While these ideas may seem unconventional, they challenge the prevailing fast-paced culture that often leads to burnout. Slowing down, prioritizing quality over quantity, and investing in yourself are essential steps toward producing meaningful work that stands the test of time. Final words. The contemporary conception of productivity leaves knowledge workers burnt out by meaningless tasks and a needlessly hectic pace. To produce meaningful, quality work, we need to embrace a slower model of productivity, one that prioritizes saying no to busyness in order to work at a natural pace and shift focus from quantity to quality. Thanks for being part of our insightful voyage. If our summary piqued your interest, we encourage you to dive into the complete book for a deeper understanding. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more content if you're new here, and share it with others who might find it valuable. Keep on reading, discovering, and advancing until our next adventure.